okay? Good push off. Ready? Go. Trying to see if I can get her to break that fly habit. There. That's the first time she actually got right into the stroke. There. Now we see a little bit, Chloe, of how you're breathing way over the top of your back. Right there, you can actually see your face. Okay? We just don't want to breathe that high in the air. We want the shoulder to go up that high. But when you breathe that high, I'm going to show you what happens. Beautiful shoulders. You're doing it. And that's the first time you came right off and started swimming freestyle and didn't come up and do a couple catch-up butterflies. So beautiful. Then you started coming up a little higher. When you took a breath, when you breathe that way, okay, you breathe so high you can see your face. All right? You turn all the way around, point from here, you can see your face. That's like me breathing here. And turning so high, you actually saw my face. That's way too high, okay? We're going to turn up the shoulder all the way for the breath, but the head will stay right here. If you were turning all the way up, all right? That head, literally, if you watch a great swimmer, a portion of their mouth may actually be in the water, okay? Like that portion of my mouth could be in the water and I could still be bringing air in. You just know how to do that, okay? Otherwise, you can bring it up right to here, whereas you make sure that you're up on the top of the Alps and, you know, no water at all. And you're like, woo, clear up here, all right? So you want to keep that head for the breath right here, yet you want that shoulder up. So the head should be looking, boop. Remember we talked about the horse with blinders. Take that breath so that the head's right here and it's moving back down. You're doing this all the way back up. We'll get there. We're doing backstroke next. But for now, you're going to do that same drill, freestyle, but you're going to try to keep your mouth, and you turn it up, see if you can't keep a little bit of your mouth in the water. Okay? Got it? Ready? Go. But I think if you can keep that head moving all the way up, because you should be able to see it. You should go back to there. Oh my gosh. Up right there. There we go. You got the head down. Now, mind you, I'm asking her to do two things at once. That was a beautiful stroke. That is another beautiful stroke. All of a sudden, you see how big and strong she looks? Yeah. When she pulls that shoulder up like that and comes around, man, real long, real big and strong, and the body's not going all over the place. Pow. Okay? Beautiful concentration on the breath. We weren't as good on the arms as we've been, but there were a couple that you'll hear me talk are gorgeous. You're going to see them come up right in here, and you're going to see you look strong. You go from looking like a little 7, 8, 9-year-old, 10-year-old. Okay, right? 10?
9.
Oh,
well, she's almost 9.
Yeah. Oh, when do you turn 9?
You don't know when you turn 9?
Really? I don't know. Somewhere down in the future. Okay. All right. Okay. And so you go from looking like a little 8-year-old to like an 18-year-old. And I mean it. You just come up and you're like this little wiggle and all of a sudden it was like bam, bam. You took a couple big girl strokes. All right? Now, breath down and give me the same shoulders. So now we're just two focuses. Same shoulder, but that breath needs to stay low to the water. All right? Yep, she's ready. Yep, she's ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You hear that change? 13. Changing cadence. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Should be 24. She took 25. Should have been 24 strokes, but your hand is about that close to the wall. And your stroke again came in. You should have just gone, boom, okay? Now, you'll hear me counting on this. 1, 2, 3, and I think it was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because you were like, dum, 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 and you're going to see that change in the stroke. So this is why I count on there so you can hear it. Going. Good breathing, not as good as the arms, okay? And again, I'm asking two big changes on you. So I understand, you know, for somebody who doesn't know when they turn 9, that may be tough, you know? All right? You turn 9 right after you're 8. Okay? Just in case anybody asks and you can't remember, just go, oh, I'll turn 9 after I'm done being 8. Okay? And then you'll be right, won't you? Okay? Good. All right? Now, if they ask you when you're done being 8, you'll say, when I turn 9. Right? Okay. So now, let's try this again. All right? I want to keep that nice head low. This is the last chance I'm going to do here. Then we're going to go to back stroke. Okay? Head low, but big arms. Okay? No splash. There. Now this is what we're looking for. Okay? I'm not counting the strokes, but she can easily go back. Those first 3 or 4 cycles were utterly gorgeous. Now we're getting back a little bit to the bounce, and that's okay. That's okay. She's still got remnants. She's keeping the head down lower. We're still seeing more shoulders. Nice finish. You wanted to take another stroke, and we're like, oh yeah, he told me to do that, okay? Now, I didn't count strokes there, but I want you to go back in this tape, in this film. What do we call this in? This recording, okay? And I want you to look at the first 3 or 4 cycles. Those were big girl cycles. Then you kind of broke back down into, I don't know how old cycles, all right? But those first 3 or 4 cycles were gorgeous. Go replay them and look at how smooth you were and how long in the pool. Then let it play after you've watched that a couple times and watch you come back and kind of flatten out, and all of a sudden, you're dancing down the pool, all right? Okay, let me see your backstroke. Because you were turning your head all the way up here. But Jessica's going to leave that head right there, okay? All right? And let's see your backstroke, and we're going to focus from here. So again, a good start. At least 4 fly kicks underwater, and then your stroke. Ready? And go. Really nice. I like the way she jumped back, kicked those feet up into the air. Still need to work a little bit more underwater. But see, now that she's not taking a breath, she looks a little bit longer in the pool. One of the things, focus down to her legs a little bit. Look at how much she's letting her legs split apart. Okay, that's going to allow that whole body to wiggle all the way up. And that's a little bit of what we're seeing. Okay, back up to her arms. See how they hit over the top of her head, and I'll demonstrate here. See how she hit over. Couple things, when you're kicking, all right, you're letting your kick come all over the place. Backstroke kick should be very small, very rapid, and you can really control that just by thinking bump, 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 and not letting it go all over the place. Have your dad go back down and take a look at that, so you'll be able to go back and go, oh yeah, wow, look at this, okay? So put your mind's eye, okay? You know what your mind's eye is? Think about, all right. Your thumb on your right arm, shut your eyes. Think about your thumb on your right arm. Okay, your mind's eye is now thinking about your thumb on your right arm, okay? Look at this, all right? So you see that you're thinking about that, and you can go, oh, okay. Now, I want you to tell you how powerful the mind's eye is, okay? Let's shut your eyes, okay? Put your fingertips on the gutter. Now, your left pinky. Okay, shut your eye. Start thinking about your left pinky. Now your right thumb. Are your feet touching the ground? You had to think, didn't you? No. Because you were thinking of you, and you were like, wait a minute, I'm thinking here. And your brain had to, didn't it? All right? Because it wasn't thinking about that. All right? That's why I had you focus here, and then I said, are your feet touching the ground? And you felt your brain go all the way down there. No, because you had to check. You had to think about it. I want you to think about this. Going down, you've got to think on this. The other thing you're doing, this is what we were talking about at the end of the film. When you come up and take your stroke, you throw your hand over the top. Okay? Now that leads to a little bit of that wiggle, just like it would in the freestyle. Crossing over. Cross over. Cross over. See how my hips go out? Cross over. See how my hips go out? Guess what my kick's going to do? Poing. All right? So we're going to combine focusing on that small kick with, when you come up, we're going to drop our hands out to the outside here. I want you to think that somebody's put tennis balls all over the surface of the water. There's a million tennis balls there. And you've got to come around and grab a tennis ball. Grab a tennis ball. every single time. Because if you do this, you're not going to grab a tennis ball, are you? All right? So you've got to come up, and all you have to do is turn that hand down and grab a tennis ball. Grab a tennis ball. Grab a tennis ball. So you are going to think small kick and grab a tennis ball. Every stroke, okay?